Hi, Mochismo Eugene. Welcome to another video from Exit Strategy. Please like, subscribe, share, give a thumbs up to this video if you find it helpful. Pass it on if you believe someone else will benefit from it. I'd appreciate that. So let's talk about the narcissists and how their survival and their continual abuse is heavily dependent on your silence. Because before you awakened and became aware of what you were living with, dealing with, and had been involved in, whether it was your family upbringing, family unit, that friend circle that had that toxic person in it that we call toxic. Now we know toxic is it pales in comparison to a narcissist. You know, anyone has a propensity to be toxic because of what they're maybe going through in life, but a narcissist, that is their life's work. So their growth and their continual abuse is very contingent and is critical to their survival and continually to abuse other people. Your silence is that key. But to break that continual abuse cycle that they continue to not only do to just one person, they continue this on a daily basis, on a regular basis. You know, if walls could talk about how many people a narcissist single-handedly, one narcissist has destroyed by themselves over their life, over their lifetime. So if you think about when you discovered the narcissist and you were awakened, that is what actually broke the monotony or broke the bond of what they had you under. So it is very, very pertinent that you speak. It is pertinent that you speak, maybe not on a platform such as this, and I've said this before and I will continue to say it. You have to open your mouth. You have to speak and not suppress what you've lived, what you've experienced. You say, well, who do you talk to about this? Here's the place. Start here. Start not only just observing and watching and listening to people like myself. You have to comment, share, and different things such as that. That's why I always emphasize that in the beginning of a video. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I need you to comment and share, because in doing so, this word is continually getting out, and there is beginning to be nowhere that a narcissist can hide. They can't even sit in the presence of awakened and aware individuals. They sense your awakenedness, and thereby it makes them very uneasy. The only reason why they can sit in a church, only reason why they can sit in these facilities of good, well-meaning people and be not detected is because these people, like us, much like we were, very, very naive and unassuming. We didn't assume, we didn't observe, we were not vigilant, we just did not know that such a thing existed. But there are a lot of people that know this exists, but they dismiss it to the point where if it's not directly affecting them in their life today, here and now, they won't go on to educate themselves. I want to believe there are a lot of people that are listening to these videos that just stumbled upon them. And it has caused them in their awareness to kind of downplay it and dismiss it for one reason or another. Maybe they're just so tied up with the hustle and bustle and the day-to-day matrix living. They got so much to juggle in their day-to-day life. I get that. And they put this on a shelf and say, I'll go back later and I'll revisit it, only to put it on the shelf and it collects dust. I mean, this awareness of stumbling upon a video or some information, because, and another reason is because it challenges you to have to go deeper and introspect and look inside of your life, whether it's in the present moment or something that happened in the past in your life, the traumas that you've gone through, which is a hard place for a lot of us to go down that rabbit hole. But that is very crucial to you becoming a healthy version of yourself. You have to do this self work. You have to do this. Some people call it the shadow work. You have to look into those shadows. And sometimes those shadows can be petrifying, but that is the very thing that is going to be able to snap you out of that trance that you've been in. So for that reason and other reasons, people don't latch on to this right away. And because of that, that is just one more person that is going to be silent and dismissive, and they're going to go on, and as chances are and as life would have it, a narcissist comes along in that very person's space, and they're so busy with their hustle and bustle because they didn't attend to this information, and they become hoodwinked by that person at that job, on that website that they're searching for love in all the wrong places. And so when you get this information and you become aware of it, that should be your calling card to latch on and engage and try to ride this wave until you can soak it up and soak it in and say, man, you know, as hard as this may be for me to understand, as hard as this may be for me to digest and accept, I know this undeniably true, this stuff that I'm listening to. And it's very familiar to something that I've lived in my life. It is very familiar that something I just experienced yesterday at the job place. It's something very familiar that I've experienced by way of my mom or my dad or my uncle or my aunt or my sister or my child. These are descriptions and behaviors that resemble somebody I know. See, it's a hard thing to have to accept. There are many things that are hard. Waking up every day and going to work is hard. But a lot of us, we do that religiously. We wake up and we run head first to that friend circle that doesn't give a damn about us. Our besties, our day ones. Because when you wake up and snap out of this trance that you're in and this rat race that you're in, you cannot deny that there is something that is shifted in your mindset, thought process, in the way that you see things with your natural eyes, and your spiritual conscience has been it's been seared. And so you say, I have to accept that my child is demonstrating some very strong narcissistic behaviors, and there are patterns that are consistently happening all the time, every day. Every time I confront them with something they need to change or discipline, they turn on me like a rattlesnake. Now, I just saw, and I tend to watch gruesome things on YouTube, and the gruesome things I'm talking about, because this relates to behavior science. It relates to, a lot of it relates directly to narcissists. And I saw, well, actually, I don't think I saw it on YouTube. I read it on my phone. This 17-year-old boy, giving you the short of it, he essentially stabbed his mom in the neck. And he killed her because she had verbally disciplined him and told him, you can no longer play the video games until you do the required task and the chores within the house. And he spazzed out. And he had already gave a preview of what he would do prior to them putting him in somewhat of a boys' home as a result of him killing his father. I think maybe even a year and a half earlier, and he alleged that his father, he alleged that his father attacked him, and he shot him in self-defense, shot him in the head and shot him somewhere in the chest. And a year and a half later, he said, if you let me go back to my mom, I'll do anything I can to stay free and whatever, even if it means killing her. And he said this, and he went on and he did that. So the signs were on the wall. He's a psychopath. And when children speak like this, we normally just think we need to put them in counseling, get them therapy. So what we do, we send them off to somebody who we believe is a professional to sit in a room and talk to them. A lot of times the parents are not even there in that room. And a lot of times when that child comes out, as is with the adult narcissists, they have a resentment. You've seen instances where, what was this show called? Rehab, Celebrity Rehab. You know, a lot of this is skits, but when you try to force somebody into a treatment or force somebody to recognize the error of their ways forcibly, it creates a hostility, and that wedge that was already there becomes wider. And so back to point, you know, our silence is very much what keeps the narcissist in power. And so when you begin to speak out and speak about this, and you become aware of what's going on as it pertains to this behavior, you can see you no longer can stay silent. To stay silent is to accept the fact that this is not only happening to other people, but you're accepting the fact that it very well could be you next. And that is that is something that a lot of us don't want to have to think about. But there is no other evil in the world that I can think of like a narcissist. That being said, bless.